So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to convert your Scalextric analog track to a digital beast. We've got all the parts and pieces we need, so stick around. If you want to learn how to make your track from analog to digital, well, this might just be the video. Let's go. Before we get stuck into our digital upgrade, let's have a quick look at the track that I'm using for our donor track. It is Scalextric's Hot Laps Fast and Furious. It is analog, so we're going to turn this little guy digital, and we do have the Supra and the beautiful charger to make digital as well. If you do want to see a full review of this track, it is on my channel. I'll link it down below. But now let me show you what we're going to use to make this digital. So what will I be using to upgrade my analog Fast and Furious track? Well, the most important thing is your power base. This is the upgrade kit. It's from analog to digital, and it does exactly what it says on the box. It is Scalextric Digital. This will take over the brains of the operation. It gives you controllers and full control of the app once you download it. What else do I need? Well, these. So what else are we using? Not one, but two of these straight lane digital changeovers by Scalextric. This allows you to change lanes, and it makes the racing a whole lot better. And that's the whole part of digital, lane changing and multiple cars on track. So not one, but two of these, and I'll explain why I'm using two when we do the track build. And because we have two cars to go digital, we will need two of these easy fit digital plugs. Very simple to install into your car. I will show you during the video how simple these are, but this is necessary. How many cars you have, you will need the same amount of digital plugs. Because we have two, we're going to install two. And last but not least is a track extension pack. You may or may not need this. In today's build, we do. If you don't need it, you will save some dollars, and I will explain why I need this when I build the track. So enough talking, let's build the track. And if you're needing anything from Scalextric or something from today's video, please consider using my link down below in the comment and in the video description. It's a direct link to Scalextric, which supports me directly. So why am I using the track extension pack? Well, let me try and explain, because you may not need this. So in front of us here, we have all the straights that we're using to complete our track build today to make sure that it's equal and it goes together. First up, we do have our digital lane changer. We are using two of these, and you can see they are a lot shorter than our straights from the Fast and the Furious set. These guys are big boys. If we jump up a step, you can see we've got a track extension pack, which we have 4 of those from here. We're only going to use one, which marries up to our Arc Pro perfectly. They're both the same size. So if I bring in the old power base from the analog set, you can see why I'm using it. This guy is a big boy. It mimics the same straight that's included in the set. So I had to downsize a straight to make sure that these guys marry up and the rest of it goes together pretty. You'll see when I build the track, but you may not need these. So if you want a better explanation, feel free to email me, but I think that's the best way I can explain it. We need this track to go together. And with the magic of YouTube, here is your track. And here it is, nice. Our little digital layout. Now let me quickly talk you through this. I did explain about the track lengths, but as you can see, everything is equal, and that's the key of building your track. If you're using one long piece, you better make sure you replicate it somewhere else on the track so it all goes together perfectly. So we've got the same amount of corners, the same amount of long and short straights, and we have ourselves a perfect little demonstration digital track. Now that's enough of the track. Let's convert these two incredible cars to digital in a very, very simple step. So the track is set. Now we need to convert our car from analog to digital. And for this tutorial, we're going to use the Toyota Supra. Absolutely love this car. Currently, it is an analog version of this beautiful beast, and we want to convert it to digital. How do we do that? Well, very simply, and I'm going to record this from start to finish without any breaks to show you how simple it is. So you're going to need to get yourself a Phillips head screwdriver. I'm using a little hobby grade, and every car that you convert from analog to digital will need its own easy fit digital plug. One car, one plug. So let's take him out, and this is probably the hardest part, getting this guy out of the packet, and I'm going to quickly show you exactly how this thing looks. It is a very small chip. We've got some power pins here, and on the other side you do have your sensor, which is what speaks to the track. So that is our plug. Let's have a quick look under the side of the car, and you can see we've got this big window here, plastic window, which we're going to replace with our digital plug. They look exactly the same, bar a couple of things, which you'll see in a tick. So let's undo the only screw that we have to touch for this conversion. don't lose your screw, put that aside. This is the tricky part. Do not take your car apart. You can actually do this with this hanging off, but you do have to be very gentle when you are removing the plug from the dummy plate. So get your thumbs on the side or some nails and do the best you can just to wedge that out. Do not pull the wires because you will pull them out. And there you go, it is gone. So we'll remove that, and now we'll reverse exactly what we just done. Be very careful making sure the pins line up properly. They look like they're going to go in perfectly. Push it in nice and hard, it'll click in. Then you just literally reverse what you've just done. So make sure all the wires tuck under, clip it in, and then put your screw back in. Job done. Now it's digital. So we have converted our Supra from analog to digital. We've installed our Arc Pro power base, and we've also got our wireless controllers ready to rock and roll. Now I need to answer the question, why should I go from analog to digital? Well, this guy here can do some tricks that analog can't do. So I'm going to sit you down next to our very special piece of track, which is our digital lane changer. Our Supra around just a couple of laps just to show you what that piece of track does. So we're on the outside lane. If I press a button, we're now in the inside lane, which you cannot do that on an analog track. So let's go one more time. We're jumping across. If you don't want to change lanes, you can actually stay in the lane, but when it comes back around, you can actually go back across. And that's one of the features that digital has over analog. But there's something else this thing can do. So we're seeing our digital changeover. We know that's for the digital system only, but what else makes this the worthy upgrade from standard Scalextric analog to the Arc Pro digital system? Well, currently I have this set up as an analog only track. We've got one driver per lane, which means 2 players, so 2 controllers. But if we take this guy off, and we have 6 digital cars, we can now have up to 6 drivers, yes, 6 different people driving on the same track, which you cannot do on an analog setup. But I know what you're thinking, I love my analog cars, I've only got a couple of chips lying around, and I still love driving my standard cars. So let's go down to the power base, and let's flick this switch down here, and we've just converted this digital track back to analog. I think that is the best party trick. So now if we drive the Supra, it should be able to move on this analog track. I don't want to go too fast, but if we put him onto the other side, he shouldn't move at all because this controller is now coded to this side only. So if I pull the trigger, nothing. Now if we put our non-digital car on, which is our charger, and pull the trigger, he also drives. So we're going back to analog. But you're probably thinking, why can't I drive the analog car on digital? Well, let me show you what happens when we flick it back to digital. So you'll hear it click. It's now clicked, and if this doesn't have a chip, you're going to make a noise like this. Can you hear that? It isn't happy, so make sure you don't put an analog car onto the digital track. But if we put our digital car back on, we now know we can drive on any lane. There you go, another digital party trick. And there you go, a quick tutorial on how to go from Scalextric analog to Arc Pro digital by using the items that I have showed you in today's video. And if you do need something from Scalextric, please consider using my link down below. It does support the channel. And also let me know what you think. Is it worth going Arc Pro? Are you happy just to stay analog? I love your thoughts and feedback, but I will see you in the next video. Bye.